Hello everybody and welcome to the Dr. Fit and Fabulous YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Jamie Seaman and I am a board certified obstetrician and gynecologist practicing in Omaha, Nebraska. Today we are going to be talking about a topic that is taking the internet by storm, and it is called Keto Crotch. I have personal experience with the ketogenic diet. I've been ketogenic for multiple years, and as a board certified gynecologist, I see vaginitis on a daily basis in my clinic. Although I have no personal experience over the last couple of years with this condition, I can assure you, taking care of a lot of women who are using the ketogenic diet and ketogenic therapy, that this is not a condition that I have seen in my clinic, and I do not believe that it actually exists. So let's talk about what people are theorizing keto crotch is. So let's talk about what the vagina is, what the vaginal microbiota is, and why people are theorizing this is actually a thing. So the vagina is made up of epithelial cells, which are covered in mucus. That mucus is actually secreted by glands in the cervix and in the Bartholin's and the Skene's glands. The normal acidity of the vagina is typically between 4 and 4.5, and this is due to the predominantly healthy bacteria called lactobacillus. Lactobacillus makes lactic acid, which keeps the pH between 4 and 4.5. If something changes with the vaginal ecosystem and other bacteria start to predominate, and the normal lactobacillus die off, the pH of the vagina can start to rise, and this is when other bacteria can tend to flourish. Now we also see yeast in the vagina, and if the yeast flourish, that's called a yeast infection. Now, there are a lot of things that can affect the vaginal ecosystem. Diet is indeed one of them, but there are a lot of other things that can affect the pH of the vagina. Things like sexually transmitted infections, antibiotic usage, foreign bodies, including tampons or anything else that's been inserted into the vagina, like condoms or sex toys. Pregnancy, because of the hormonal fluctuations, can cause changes. When people are on birth control, it can affect the bacteria in the vagina. Any sexual activity and anything that would be like an irritant or an allergen. These would be lotions, soaps, anything that a woman would use to douche with or put inside the vagina. The woman normally makes about 1 to 4 milliliters or about a teaspoon of vaginal mucus on a daily basis, and this does fluctuate with the normal menstrual cycle. So in somebody who is not on a birth control that stops their normal cycle, we do see changes in the vaginal secretions during the cycle. Now, these vaginal secretions are rich in glycogen, and it is this glycogen that the lactic acid is using to ferment to actually, or the lactobacillus is using to actually make the lactic acid. There's actually this glycocalyx layer in the vagina, in this vaginal epithelium. Now, this is highest in a normal menstrual cycle just prior to ovulation. Now, these Keto Crotch articles say right in them that this is something that has not been researched, clearly made up inside some chat forums. So they found some women who had some problems with vaginitis and thought maybe it was related to their ketogenic diet, and now it's taking the internet by storm. So I did a PubMed search and looked at studies that have been done with diet related to vaginitis, and I only found really 3 studies. There was a study that showed women in the highest quartile with fat consumption, specifically saturated fat, seemed to have a higher incidence of bacterial vaginosis. Now, the population of women in this study was predominantly African American women of low socioeconomic status. So whether this is applicable to the entire population would be in question. They also did not control for carbohydrate intake or sugar intake, because the next study I found, done in a very similar population of women, found that the only thing correlated with severe bacterial vaginosis was actually glycemic load. So when women have high blood sugars, it causes an inflammatory response, which decreases the immune cell function within the vaginal ecosystem. It ruins this glycocalyx layer, and it allows the pH of the vagina to rise. This is essentially the theory for why diet can have implications on our vaginal microbiome. Now, the vaginal microbiome is strongly correlated with our gut microbiome, and we know that our diet has a lot of implications on that. There is a reason that the rectum and the vagina are very close to each other, and they both have a predominance of this lactobacillus. The bladder is also in close proximity. So for those of you that don't know, or not a gynecologist, a woman has a urethra, a vagina, and a rectum. And all of these share very similar bacterias, and they have their own immune functions. Now, it's very interesting compared to other mammals that humans actually are one of the only mammals that have a predominant lactobacillus microbiome in their vagina, and there's lots of theories as to why that is. Now, I just want to assure all the women out there that I have seen lots of women on the ketogenic diet, and I do not believe that Keto Crotch is a real thing. Whether this was made up by Weight Watchers or Jillian Michaels or somebody with some other political agenda against the ketogenic diet, I can assure you, if you think you have an issue going on in your vagina, please see a board certified obstetrician gynecologist, a midwife, a nurse practitioner, a family medicine doctor, somebody that is experienced in diagnosing and treating these conditions, because clearly there is something else going on. Please do not get your medical advice from a Google search or a chat forum. Hope you guys enjoyed this edition. Talk to you later.